Guardian Radio, your station for up-to-the-minute news and intelligent, interactive, and engaging conversations. 96.9 FM. The views and opinions of the hosts and guests are their own and do not necessarily reflect the views of the management and staff of Guardian Radio.
Good morning this morning and welcome back to Guardian Radio 96.9 FM, your station for fresh news, smart talk all day. It is Friday the 17th of January 2025 and you are on the clock with Erin, Greene. This is Sports Friday. I am awaiting the arrival via Zoom telephone of Mr. Eric Sawyer III because we got to talk NFL. I have not been able to give this gentleman a good chafing ever since the Miami Dolphins, a.k.a. the Sardines, left the 2024-2025 season with a better record than the 49ers. See, sometimes you got to be grateful for small mercies. As far as I'm concerned, the Dolphins have already won the Super Bowl. I ain't minding all these other teams that continue to play as if there's something to play for. But we're going to get into some NFL news. We're going to get into some local news as well. I got some housekeeping and announcements to my HHT family, Hannah Hasty Tynes people. The HHT Family Association is resuming association meetings. The first meeting of the year will be on the last Thursday of the month. That is December 31st. We hope to see as many people as possible out at the first family meeting of the year. Again, the meeting will take place at St. John's. That is the tentative location, St. John's College Auditorium, tentative location. We'll announce if that changes, 6:30 p.m. start time. Also happening in the same evening, Thursday, January 31st, Dundas Open Mic, first open mic of the year. Again, Dundas Black Box Open Mic is a Dundas fundraiser. And the Dundas has a massive campaign afoot. We got 4 years to save the Dundas. The institution is attempting to raise approximately $250,000 to bring the complex back up to standard and to be able to use the main theater. Boy, I see there's a caller on the line. Caller, coming to you right now. Good morning, caller.
You rang?
Yes, sir. Give me 2 seconds. I just want to talk about this SpaceX rocket.
Okay, no problem.
For anybody who thought that World War III had started, trust me, they ain't starting over the Bahamas. They ain't starting over the Bahamas. SpaceX had you can't call it tragedy because it's a rocket, but they had a major incident yesterday, and we saw images of a rocket explosion in the sky. I just wanted to say, hey guys, for all of you who were inspired to become astronauts or rocket engineers, maybe we should start by learning how to stop at stop signs first. I just saying, I think that would be the most prudent place to start our journey into outer space. Learning how to stop at stop signs. All right, and last thing, I had the pleasure of attending a conference yesterday hosted by the Ministry of Health and Wellness. It was a wonderful event, the conference, Rooting Out the Violence. I just want to make this quick note. Two things. I'm looking forward to incorporating the information and data collated and shared in this document, right? I'm looking forward to collaborating with NGOs and government agencies to bring the data and the programs that will be derived or generated after assessing the data to On the Clock to have conversations about it. Most importantly, what I was impressed was that at a Ministry of Health event, the menu clearly reflected, right? The ethos of the Ministry of Public Health and Wellness. The menu was filled with salads and savory, wonderful, yummy salads, exciting, interesting, tantalizing, pear and mango. They made a Bahamian watermelon salad, but they replaced the watermelon with papaya, your classic tomato and red onion. It was fabulous. Producer, let's go to that phone line again. I think that's Mr. Sawyer. Good morning, Mr. Sawyer.
Yeah.
Good stuff.
Man.
All right,
How are you?
I'm good, thank you. I miss you very much.
Miss you too.
The 2024-2025 NFL season was exciting.
It really was. I got to see 2 games this year, one in San Francisco.
Yeah.
Sadly, one in Miami. Where I saw my Niners were upset by the Sardians.
Mm-hmm.
Such is life. We gave them one. They played our third stringers. They played the backup to the backup.
But it was warm, right?
Yeah, it was.
Good. See, that's the gift we give y'all.
Whatever.
So week 8.
Whatever. Before I continue. Good morning. Good morning goes out to Mr. Bryce. Mr. Bryce listens every morning. So he's your show.
Oh, morning, Mr. Bryce. Thank you so much.
Yeah, and shout out to LT, Leon Taylor, one of the biggest, youngest Sardian fans on the island. But he's my boy. We had ourselves a good trash talking session on Monday gone, because his line was, of course, who had the better record? Who had the better record?
I just saying.
Who had the better record?
I just saying. That sounds like the truth.
On the couch. Come sit down.
Let me tell you what stunned me. What stunned me in Week 18 was the Broncos versus Chiefs, 38-0. So I read that, okay, Mahomes he opted not to play. He had an important personal milestone event, right? Like he was attending. So we understand that, but 38-0?
They played nobody.
So
they didn't play hard. They didn't tackle hard. They didn't rush hard. They didn't pass hard. They didn't catch hard. It was just a game they wanted to get through, and nobody got injured because they already locked up the number 1 seed. They already had the bye, so they're not playing until even next. We're already in the playoffs. We had the playoffs last week, playoffs this week, and they're not playing until next week. So that was 24 days off. So why not rest your starters?
Okay, so watch.
Everybody.
Here's why. Here's my biggest concern with that huge break, 24 days, right? Will the Chiefs have the momentum to take out the Texans?
Boy, but the Texans are without Joe Mixon. Well, they may be out. Maybe without Joe Mixon. They're definitely going to be without Tank Dell. So their passing game is a bit suspect.
Mm-hmm.
As great as a young quarterback is. Nico Collins is one man. So if the pressure is dialed up against him, and their defensive coordinator beat Brady, not once but twice in the Super Bowl, and he has bested the best team in NFL history twice as well. That would be the San Francisco 49ers.
So let me ask you this.
Yeah.
If the Chiefs had beaten the Broncos in Week 18, right? Leaving the Broncos with a 9-8 record,
Right.
would they have made it in?
No. If the Chiefs had beaten the Broncos, the Bengals would have made it in. And that's the one team that I truly believe Patrick Mahomes is scared of, because other than Tom Brady, the only other player to beat Mahomes in the playoffs has been Joe Burrow. And he beat him in Kansas City. So he's not afraid. And I believe the Chiefs are deathly afraid to play
that'll start a rivalry for me. If I was Burrow, if I was the Bengals, we have a McCoy and Hatfield feud for the rest of the NFL in perpetuity, because you decide to do that just to keep us out because you scared.
I truly believe they are afraid, and that's why they made sure that they laid down. No starters was going to play. None of the backups played hard. It's like, hey, listen, let's keep Joe Burrow out of the playoffs.
By telling you, I do believe this is one of the most exciting seasons I've seen. I got a couple more Week 18 questions for you, right?
Go on.
Why did the Rams take the NFC West if the Seahawks were also 10-7?
Because they own the tiebreaker.
Okay.
They beat more teams in the division than the Seahawks did.
Okay, I get it. So why didn't the Seahawks make the wild card even if they were 10-7?
Because you had a 14-win wild card team in the Vikings that needed to be there. You had an 11-win team that came up third in the NFC North, and the Packers that had rights to be there before them.
So if I was the Seahawks, I raggy in the Vikings forever too, because look at how you slipped past us into the playoffs, but then couldn't make it.
Just to slip out.
Yeah, I'd be dead on to get beat by the Rams and to get beat 27-9. Okay.
On a neutral field.
So
not even at home. Because they played in Arizona through the Flyers in LA.
What separates? Okay, so a little further in the show, we can look at the NFL draft order, right? Kansas City Chiefs, Detroit Lions both finished with 15-2 records. Why did the Kansas City Chiefs get 31 and Detroit Lions get the last spot, right? What's the difference between the two teams in terms of their placement if they both had the same record?
Now that I can't even bother to delve into that. If this was last season, I tell you, it's because the Lions beat the Chiefs in Week 1, but the Chiefs beat the Ravens by a toenail in Week 1 this year. Maybe it was against the spread. Maybe it was the winning percentage of teams that they played. I'm not sure, but either which way, the Lions or the Chiefs, they're not worried about who. They're not worried about the order in which they're picking in the draft. They worry about punching their ticket to New Orleans. Yeah.
That was, look at, I hope that that strategic, because I imagine it's a strategic coaching and management decision for the Chiefs to let the Broncos win to ensure that the Bengals can't go forward, right? Because the Bengals won in Week 18.
They did win. But strangely enough, even if the Chiefs lost, had the Sardines won against the Jets, they would have gotten smoked last week in Buffalo instead of Denver.
Listen,
because there's no which way. Like, let's be honest.
That's how close we were.
I'm never beating the Bills.
Listen, don't worry about that part. We just got to get there first.
7 years, once. In a game in the hot sun whereby Josh Allen just threw the ball into the sun. He didn't even care anymore. He just wanted to go home.
Oh, my gosh. It hurts. But here's the question. So I saw a small clip with the Dolphins coach saying Tua, not the other boy, is the real, not, I won't say the real deal because they obviously very talented, but they are not the solution to the Dolphins' problem. What next for the Dolphins?
Go draft Jesus Christ.
Oh, my gosh. I mean, okay, from a non-49ers perspective, what's wrong with the Dolphins? Can they find the quarterback they need? Or is
what they really need to do is to fire their general manager. He's been around for all of this turmoil when it came to Brian Flores being the coach all through now, with the coach that they have now, our former coach, I might as well tell you. You're welcome, Saudi and fans.
All right. Well, thank you.
What they really need to do is to fire the general manager because he's no good.
Right.
I don't know what he has on the Dolphins owner that he can still keep his job through all of this turmoil, stress. Tyreek said
an inability.
He wanted out, but apparently up to yesterday, he said that he's committed back to the Dolphins after speaking with team officials. And OBJ, he's a dynamic receiver. Played well in the Super Bowl until he ruptured his until he tore his ACL. He was about to be the Super Bowl MVP a couple of years ago with the Rams when they played the Bengals in the Super Bowl. He left. You know, Galen Ramsey wants out because, like, you're just there. Like was said by Tyree. Like in Miami, you're just there. Like there's no expectation for you. No one cares that you're not gonna win. No one cares if you do win.
It's like they got a good government job and they don't care.
Right, like you just stand.
Yeah. So look here.
There's no expectation.
Go on.
They are a sorry franchise.
I will never forget week 1, the images of Tyreek Hill being pulled out his car and made to sit on the ground as on the approach to the stadium. Is it that Tyreek has been made to feel that he is truly not welcome in Miami?
No, it's just that he looks like the average black Floridian man who has a couple of dollars and decides he's going to lease a vehicle that he obviously cannot afford. And so the police stereotyped him, that's all.
I got you.
Like his hair all spiky, he black as night, wearing 2 or 3 big chains. It just
He fit the description.
He fits the description.
Yeah. Anyway, I thought that was they call it a harbinger or omen for the Dolphins, and so that they won that first game after that turmoil, right? That tumultuous incident. I thought, look, this is a super strong team, but I ain't sure we can make it. So listen, American AFC East, the Bills took it, West Chiefs, and they took the whole conference. Ravens in the North, Texans in the South. For the NFC, Eagles take the East, Rams take the West, North, Lions take the whole conference, and Buccaneers take the South.
And they did so well. Oh, the Bucs, man. Baker Mayfield, 40 touchdowns last year. He had an amazing season.
That's interesting because NFC South is like the most horrible division in the NFC.
Correct. And they got beat by the Commanders last week. Anyway, Jaden Daniels.
Yeah.
A good player. Very good player. Up and coming player.
So let's look at the divisional round. Chiefs versus Texans, Eagles versus Rams, Lions versus Commanders, Bills versus Ravens. Sawyer, people on the street are suggesting that the Texans could beat the Chiefs. I tell them, what are y'all talking about?
They could, you know. I mean, it's 60 minutes of football done between the lines on the gridiron. You really could.
But listen.
Because I didn't think that the Seahawks could ever beat the 49ers. Not in the regular season, not in the playoffs. We haven't lost to the Seahawks in years, but I went to San Francisco and we got beat from the Seahawks. So, you know, it's really any given Sunday or in the case of the game on Saturday, any given Saturday.
Okay.
But they have a tough road to trot because the Chiefs are playoff ready. They have the experience. They are Super Bowl ready. They know what it takes to get there. They've done it from the wild card. They've done it from the first seed. They've done it from the second seed. They've won on the road. They have won at home. They've won in cold games. They've won in hot games. They've won in dome games. It's going to be quite hard to beat Mahomes, Kelsey, and Taylor Swift.
Exactly.
And the referees.
Exactly. You know the story of the little boy? He came home to have to explain to his father, you know, what happened. He got a penalty. He got some bad remarks from the coach. And he said, like, what happened in the game? And so the little boy said, man, they play for a Christian school. They have Jesus and all the saints on their side playing with them. They cheat. That's how they get in trouble.
They cheat. Yeah, that's the Chiefs. They cheat.
So look here. Say the Texans beat the Chiefs. Can they win? Can they take it straight to the Super Bowl and win? What's the odds?
Nah. If the Texans beat the Chiefs, they have to play either the Bills or the Ravens, and there's no win. And there's no win there. Nah.
They can't take either of them.
Derrick Henry is way too hungry. You know, I believe that Lamar wants to win, but he doesn't want to be the reason why they win because he could equally be the reason why they lose. I think he's still afraid at the moment. But Derrick Henry's been to the playoffs before the season in his whole career, and it's showing that he's very hungry. At halftime of the game last week, they played last week, of the Steelers, he had 13 rushes for 100 yards in the first half. So he is showing that hunger, that desire to be a champion. And Josh Allen, well, we already know. If it was 12 seconds left in the game, Josh Allen may be a Super Bowl champion right now.
So watch this.
Just maybe. But because there were 13 seconds left, and that's all Patrick Mahomes needed, he got beat.
So I believe the Eagles could beat the Rams, right?
Yeah.
But can the Eagles beat the Lions?
No. Not if the Lions do exactly what they have done for the last maybe 6 weeks to hide the fact that their secondary is indeed banged up. They blitz the quarterback, and they have an array of blitzes led by their defensive coordinator, Erin, former player in the NFL, so he knows the game from a player's perspective. And that's what the Lions do. They disguise the fact that they have very bad or very suspect cornerbacks and safeties by running blitz packages.
Man, look here. I have a text coming in saying this by talking foolishness. He obviously just hates the Eagles. He said the Eagles will win the Super Bowl. Who's your call for the Super Bowl?
I want to see the Lions and Bills play because I want to see two teams that have never won a ring try to go get one. You know, I want to see either Lions or Vikings, but of course the Vikings are now out. But Lions and Bills would make for one of the most watched games in Super Bowl history just because of the fact that it's two teams that have never won. Two franchises that have never won.
But listen, I as a Bahamian, it ain't the same. Producer,
but I can't stand the Eagles. Like, that's just, be honest. I after what they did to me in the 2023 NFC Championship game, knowing full well that Brock Purdy was out and injured, you still rub salt in the wound by continuing to hit our players. I mean, we had CMC lining up as quarterback at one point. You know, like, that's how bad it was. Like, our starting quarterback was out, our backup was out, his backup was out.
Yo, I know they called me. They called me, but I tell them I didn't ice up. It was rough. Listen, we got a caller.
Saturday was still hit like we up by 3 with 7 minutes left, and they need the ball back. They hit us so hard in the second quarter, third quarter, but the game was well in hand.
I got you.
So that really put a sour taste in my mouth for the Eagles, and we did what we had to do last year. We went up to the link last year. We destroyed the Eagles, and they went on a 5-game losing streak, slipped into the playoffs, and the Bucks beat them in the first round.
Good stuff.
Year. We started them on that train wreck of a season that they had last year, and I'm happy about it. And if any Eagles fan want to see me about it, come see me.
Don't worry. I notice. I noticed what you all did and how it impacted the Eagles after that point. But we got a caller on the line. Producer, let's pull that caller in. Good morning, caller.
Yeah, good morning, Miss Greene. Good morning, Sawyer.
Hey.
Yeah, you know, I don't normally trash talk, right, Sawyer?
Hey, buddy.
But Jerry Goff, would you Goff with Detroit now?
Yeah.
Yeah, well, you know, I can go with Detroit on the side, but in any bit, I don't want to scare you, but it coming home to the AFC Central, you know, the Ravens beat the Steelers. I just Steeler, but, you know, I don't play hate, so we bringing that home to the AFC Central, man. I hate to say that, but I don't want to disappoint you, but, you know, Lamar look as hungry as a bull. You see how big he knows his get when he winning? Lamar on the run, man. I mean, the Philadelphia look a little bit shaky. Their last game was against who, but it was a close game, and the guys almost caught them up because I watched the last week because my brother really is a Philly fan. But
yeah, they played Packers in the playoff and Giants in Week 18. They played Packers in the wild card and Giants in Week 18.
That was a close game, but it's coming home to the AFC Central. Sorry, don't wait to hear it, right?
If it does come home to the AFC Central, I ain't got a problem with that because, like I said earlier, Derrick Henry will be the reason why. But Lamar only looks good.
Hey.
But Lamar looks good when they win it. He starts to do things when they win it. If the pressure's on, he is bullish. So that's why they brought in Derrick Henry. They say, hey, guess what? It's 3rd and 5. You are at your own 23-yard line. There's 6 minutes to go in the game. We're down by 4. We need a touchdown. We need to get this drive up and going. They can pan the ball off to Derrick Henry and say, go get us 6 yards. Because in the past, giving the ball to Lamar Jackson and telling him make a decision whether he runs or passes has proved futile because he just is not as decisive as he is with a lead. And that's why if the Ravens do win, I understand because it'll be off of the legs of Derrick Henry.
I
It
got
won't
you.
be off of the arm strength or the knowledge of Lamar Jackson. If you look at games this past season that they've lost, but Lamar's the main reason why they lost. Derrick Henry's still getting his rush yards up there. He's still rushing for 150 yards a game, 1 or 2 touchdowns. And Lamar throwing the 2 or 3 picks instead. So yeah, I mean I could see the Ravens possibly going to and winning the Super Bowl.
Man.
They won a Super Bowl in New Orleans already when they turn off the lights on us. But anyway, that's neither here nor there.
So look here. I see you want the Bills and the Lions, 2 teams who've never gotten a ring to go up at it. But I's a Bahamian and it's Junkanoo time. It's all about the rivalry, right? And so I want to see the Lions, who haven't won a ring yet, trounce the Chiefs, who think all the rings belong to them.
And that would be nice too.
Yeah.
That would be oh so nice.
Not just that, but because last year they won a solid push, right? Like 2024, 2025 season is not when this momentum began, is not when this push began. I think it began in the 2022, 2023 season into 2023, 2024. And now hopefully we'll see the result of we will see the result of that effort. But I got a text here that says Barkley will run all over the Rams, 255 yards last game.
Saquon Barkley. What more can you say about a brother that's been in the playoffs as well? Just like Derrick Henry, once before coming to the Eagles, once before coming to a contender, once before coming to a team that has a very good chance of winning because of him, not because of what was there before. Because what they had before,
Yeah.
and they couldn't get over the hump. But Saquon is something special, almost breaking the all-time rushing record this year. But they sat him down the last game against the Giants, no less, his former team, just to make sure that he was healthy enough to play in the playoffs, and he did a masterful job last week. And he's up against the Rams defense that is suspect against the rush. They're good on first and second down, but on third down they can be beat, via the draw play and whatnot, But we'll see.
Absolutely.
We shall see. They also can beat the screen. And Saquon with the ball in his hands, number 6, I forget number 6. I forget his name. With the ball in his hands, A.J. Brown with the ball in his hands, who, by the way, had a very pedestrian game last week. Only 1 catch for 10 yards or something like that. Very pedestrian.
So let me ask you a question.
Has the opportunity to break out against his Rams defense.
Okay.
That is shorter than him.
Okay. So look here, this is going to be another exciting NFL weekend. Divisional round: Chiefs versus Texans, Eagles versus Rams, Lions versus Commanders, Bills versus Ravens. If your partner, your spouse, your significant other, your child is not picking up their phone this weekend, they probably married to the TV screen. Be easy with them. It is.
Yes, please. All non-fans of the NFL, please just listen to me well. Organize your snacks for your significant other. Or don't iron no jersey. Don't ever iron a jersey, but get out their pants or jeans, shoes, line it up for them, get it together, say, hey baby, I know you're going to go watch the game, or I know you're going to sit down in front of the TV and just ignore me for the rest of the day, but here's some money to go out with, or here's some snacks to eat while you sit here doing nothing. And while here, can you peel the potatoes? While here, don't drag that man or that woman into the kitchen to peel the potatoes unless you have at least a 40-inch TV in the kitchen. If not, bring the potatoes to them to peel, bring the onions for them to slice.
Right where they are.
The TV screen, where they are. If you want help, that's the best I can tell you.
Accommodate.
If clothes need to iron, set up the ironing board, right in front of the television, making sure that nothing is impeding the vision of the screen.
Absolutely.
Okay?
Absolutely. Look here. I looking at the NFL, the 2025 NFL draft order. Who you think is going to win? I know Tennessee Titans, Cleveland Browns, New York Giants, the 1, 2, and 3 with a 3-14 record. Patriots, Jaguars, Raiders coming up behind them in the 4th, 5th, and 6th position with 4-13
But
record.
the Titans are the number one pick, And let me tell you what's so amazing about this.
Yeah.
Deion Sanders asked for a raise the other day to deal with the name, image, and likeness stuff that's going on in college football to keep his players.
Yeah.
And the athletic director told him no.
Oh.
Of which now, of course, that gets Deion Sanders upset. I don't know if you heard, but Deion Sanders is linked to the Dallas Cowboys in terms of possibly being their new head coach.
Okay.
And the only way he'd be their head coach, because he said that he doesn't mind coaching his son, Shedeur Sanders, who has the chance to be the number one pick in the draft.
Mm-hmm.
He is on record by stating he has not told his son to not go to certain teams. He's advised his son that certain teams are not in his best interest, like the Browns, like the Jets.
Yeah.
So if Shedeur is picked, if the Cowboys trade Dak Prescott for the number one pick in the draft, I want you to know Deion Sanders is the next Cowboys head coach.
Okay. Wow.
Okay.
All right. I got a text here for you, Mr. Sawyer. It says, "Morning, Miss Greene. Sawyer boy, so wrong. Raven had the winning boy last year without number 22. We played in the AFC conference final without number 22. Maybe if the ref will stop interfering in the game, cheating for Mr. Light Skin, number 15, to win, we'd have been better off."
That's why you need Henry to put the nail in the coffin. That way there's no discrepancy. There's nothing left in the ref's hands. Nothing left in the zebra's hands to call a game for you. Nothing left. Because Derrick Henry, if the Ravens do get by the Bills, Derrick Henry gonna run around, put all over the Chiefs. I firmly believe that.
All right, I
firmly believe that.
I got a text here that says it's not Shedeur's choice, and Cam Ward will be the best pick in the upcoming draft.
That's fine. But what can bring in the millions and millions of dollars for the Cowboys is to make sure that they pick Shedeur Sanders.
Now watch this.
Cam Ward is the best pick. That's fine. That's all well and good.
Now let's make a transition to NBA, because that just reminded me of our guy Bronny James, right? While everybody was clowning Bronny, he went back down to the G League and at least initially had stellar. It was revealed that no matter what you think about Bronny James, this boy generated $50 million in jersey sales alone.
Correct. More than your favorite NBA player currently at this time.
All right, and so in that vein for Shedeur and Deion, right? Will we see a different reconciliation, right, where the management and coaches understand the extent to which spectator energy, right, and fan support drives a team to a win?
Jerry Jones just has to learn to sit down in the back seat of this one. Because anytime he's had a coach with a mouth, he has fallen out with them. Bill Parcells, Jimmy Johnson, but he's had some coaches before in the past whereby he runs the entire team, including the last coach that gets fired, Mike McCarthy. If he is allowed, if Deion is allowed to run the team the way he wants to run the team, he has a proven track record at Jackson State. He did well there. Colorado, he's turned that franchise around 2 years, and if he gets to the Cowgirls, it's going to be a renewed rivalry between us and them, because he played for both sides. He played for the Niners and he played for the Cowboys. And so he's looking at it from the perspective of he knows the franchise, he knows what they're built on, he knows the fan base, he knows. So I have the firm belief, although I hate to admit it, it would boost fan support. It would boost the decibel level in Cowboy Stadium, in the AT&T Stadium, because you have prime time. You have Coach Prime as your head coach now. Not a spectator, not a fan, but a coach. And a coach that has a winning record, a coach that knows how to talk to players, because he was a player at the highest level. He was a superstar. So I don't care who on the team believes that you're a superstar. Do you have a ring? Do you have a defensive player of the year? Have you led the league in picks? Are you known for being a shutdown corner? Are you known for being the best ever shutdown corner in the NFL history? No? Then shut up and watch the screen. Right. We're looking at the board. I'm going to teach you guys something.
Do the stats...
He's going to bring a different mentality if he is hired as the Cowboys coach.
All right. Now, somebody says that Sanders is unproven at the pro level, and coaching at that level is completely different.
He was unproven at the coaching level, but he has done what he did at Jackson State and Colorado. All he do, he's just an older man among men. Older, not even an old man. He's just an older man. But a proven record of success.
Mr. Sawyer, I got a texter here that essentially I'm going to paraphrase wildly, right? It says, why you ain't start your career in sports commentating yet? That's me paraphrasing it. I'm going to read the actual text now. The text says, you people can barely remember birthdays and anniversaries, but can regurgitate the most obscure sports stars' stats from the past 100 years. Why? I can tell you why, texter, because how many of them people send me birthday cake?
Exactly. There's nothing to remember it by.
What, if you want me to remember it, send me birthday cake. 1 billion people in this world. 8.5 billion people in this world, and I get 2 pieces of birthday cake this year? What you want me to remember?
Say it is so.
But also, sir, I'm certain with all of my heart that text intended to convey the message. It's time for you to start your sports commentating career, man.
That's what I've been told by my father. I've been told that by 1 or 2 other listeners. Say, hey, listen, you got what it takes to get there and do that. And we'll see. And we'll see what the good Lord has in store for me this year. We'll see.
Yeah, man, absolutely.
I'm open to it. I'm open to any time slot, really, in the evening. More or less, more than mornings, but, we'll see.
Yeah, man, we working on it. I saw there's a great story. When I say it's a great story, it's a very interesting story. In today's sports section, Dr. Danny Johnson, or yesterday's sports, Dr. Danny Johnson had been appointed as a regional coordinator, I think, for a major sport, international sport network. The government's Sports in Paradise tourism initiative is still moving ahead with good steam. There is space not just for one, but a cadre of sports commentators, right? So that this information becomes valuable, right? But not just that. I think one of the things that brings you to the top of the list is not just your broad scope of knowledge, but you also have a broad scope of regional knowledge in terms of regional sports as well. And so I looking forward to that. This boy say, did Bronny and Dion send you birthday cake? But text, I know you didn't send me any birthday cake, and I reading your text too, man. I am appreciating the point that you making, right? 4 days out of 5, I talk about news and sports news and culture and ting and politics and ting. Today I want to talk about sports. Today I want to talk about sports, but texter as well. Do you see the wealth of knowledge here and the potential, the opportunity for extracting value from it? I was unable to get Mr. Stanley Mitchell in studio with me today, but the question I have for him is, to what extent was sports a major part of the national identity pre and post, immediately post majority rule exercise, right? I don't think we take into account, the extent to which Bahamians are into sports and then what that means in terms of potential income generating mechanisms. All right, Mr. Sawyer.
Shoot.
NBA. Why they have Buddy on the bench. Now, I was unable to update my stats yesterday, so I've got stats from the end of day Wednesday night, like Wednesday evening, right? At that point, the Warriors were in 12th position in the Western Conference with 19-20 record. Tell me, this all happened from their bench buddy, right?
I will say that I am not sure what happened with Buddy Hield because I will say I'm not sure if you saw it, but I know many people attached to me in social media.
The ESPN story, right?
But I was promoted at work, so I've been quite busy in my new role.
Yeah.
And new office, and so I really can't tell you what happened to Buddy over the last maybe 2.5, 3 weeks. I know he was good, he was well, but I can't.
Well,
I really can't say, and I don't want to just
Yeah.
come up and say, "Oh yeah, man, he was injured," and he's not. "Oh yeah, man, he's in a slump," and he's not. You know, I don't know.
Here's what flashed across my news feed yesterday, and it riled up the Bahamian in me. Buddy, I almost sent a 9-8 jitney for you. ESPN reports that the Warriors bus accidentally left Buddy Hield in Toronto, or didn't pick him up. Accidentally forget our boy.
What?
And I'm feeling a way, especially after what has been intimated by the way that Klay Thompson was treated.
Boy, there's something in the milk there in San Francisco. Something in the milk in Golden State.
Yeah, man. And so to see him on the bench, still getting accolades, you know. Still seeing lots of reels about his performance, even coming off the bench. But the first question is, you know, why is Buddy on the bench if from the break of the season they got, a showcase of what he could do?
Yeah, I watched him play. I watched him play the Rockets in Houston when I was there for a conference in October. And Buddy is no joke.
Yeah.
Buddy is no joke from the ball tip, no joke.
I mean,
He was playing with a team that actually loves his skills, as opposed to teams that say, "Hell, anyway, go there, see what you could do in the meantime while we down by 20. Go on, we'll let you play, we'll let you shoot now."
Producer, I got a request from the text line to please play "Jokey Leaders" by KB to end the show. Sawyer, this have my heart in a crunch because look how they treat Klay. Look how it appears they treat. Oh, and we got a caller coming in. Caller, I see you. We coming to you in a second. Look how it appears they treating Buddy. Look how it appears they treating our boy Eric Gordon, right? I feeling like these by them are a little upset that the Bahamas, little Bahamas, had a mighty charge with their NBA players. But let's go to the phone line.
And let's not even speak about how we doing so well lately in baseball. We're signing a lot of young prospects lately.
Let me take this call, and then we're going to get to those stories because I got them in my notes. Excited to see it. Producer, let's go to this caller. Thank you, sir. Good morning. Oh, caller, you just hang up. We've been there for 3 seconds. Okay, a text quickly. Good morning. Good show as usual. Buddy is an island boy. Nothing else to figure out. But he's been bringing the discipline, the hard work, the ego management. You wouldn't even think this boy have an ego, right? And what the pundits are saying, what the statisticians are saying. I mean, the most glowing report this boy got before the end of the year was, or at least at the beginning of the NBA season was, look at this boy. If he had been placed with a team that had merit or was doing something sensible from the inception of his career, he would be an all-star by now. He would be one of these names y'all is just called because, it's a Monday and we playing ball. Like, they really recognize not just his talent, but his ability to apply that talent appropriately to any franchise he goes to.
That's correct. That's very correct.
Right?
You are correct. He did it with the Pelicans, he did it with the Pacers, did it with the Sixers, and now currently trying to do it with the Warriors.
Yep. So listen, let's go to them sports stories right away. Oh,
wait, hold on.
Yeah.
Before you get there.
Yes, sir.
Happy birthday goes out to my good aunt. I mean, she makes the best carrot cake in the world. Linda Bartlett. And coincidentally, it is indeed her wedding anniversary
As well.
So happy wedding anniversary to Uncle Robert and Linda.
Absolutely. And in the spirit of the texter, Auntie Linda, I have not spoken in possibly forever or ever, right? But happy birthday, happy anniversary, and please give the cake to your good nephew.
I just got to go say, boy, I hope she do a little cake on Sunday. We're supposed to get together as a family on Sunday, so
Yeah.
so I hope she,
Yeah, they'd be the best.
A quick one for me. Thanks, Lenny.
They be the best. So look here. Neely signs with the Rangers in a significant step towards Major League Baseball aspirations. 17-year-old Bahamian infielder Dave Neely has signed with the Texas Rangers. Neely is a part of the 2025 international signing class, and the specifics of his signing have not been disclosed yet. We ain't getting into your business, Neely. We're just celebrating.
His mother is the vice president of sales at Family Guardian.
Okay.
Neely. We worked together briefly in my first year in insurance.
Okay.
And she has been a mother of all mothers. She is there at every game, every practice, and still maintaining her status as the vice president of sales over there. So he has a great... His daddy always in the picture too, but his mommy is the one that makes the noise.
Yeah.
She waving the flag. She loves her son.
Absolutely. So
one got son.
His first support team, right, is his parents, and he was, the article says groomed, but I'm sure that he's been trained by the Max D Sports Academy. Second story, McPhee Inc.'s deal with the Cubs. Another young, talented Bahamian baseball player is catching on in the MLB. Outfielder Janai McPhee has inked a deal with the Chicago Cubs and will be assigned to a minor league club. The agreement, finalized in mid-December, marks McPhee's return to the Cubs' organization. McPhee previously played for the DSL Cubs Red, showcasing his skills in the Cubs' developmental system. We say congratulations. Prince Strawn made it through the portal. I forgot to take down the name, the school of choice, but I think I saw it in today's paper as well. We say congratulations to Prince Strawn as well as to Jazz Chisholm. Story in this week's Guardian. Chisholm, Yankees avoid arbitration. The New York Yankees have secured contracts with Jazz Chisholm Jr. and Devin Williams, ensuring their status on the team's 2025 roster. Jazz Chisholm agreed to a $5.85 million one-year deal. I say take it, buddy. Not buddy, but the other buddy.
Yeah, I get what you mean.
Take it till you can't take it. Show them what it means to be a Bahamian. And what it means to be a Bahamian is that while we are on the job, we are going to give you the best. Right?
All the time.
And it don't matter how you think you talking to me, because you don't control my integrity. You could be machinating, manipulating, but I'm going to come to work as long as I have this job and give you 1,000%. You know, and Buddy has exemplified that. I got a text that says Buddy was never a starter. He can come in from the bench, and Dennis Schroeder has proven himself to be a better player. I don't know if Dennis Schroeder has proven himself to be a better player than Buddy. I'm thinking that they thinking that maybe Buddy is not young enough to run with these young boy them, but Buddy has the fortitude, the presence of mind, the ego management to be a team leader and drive those younger players into the new frontier. Got a text that says, don't watch nothing. See, texter, thank you very much for reminding Eric to remind Aunt Linda to cut 2 slices of cake. Just one last text. Thank you, producer. Pretty sure Buddy and Draymond already fight. Being a foreigner amongst Black Americans ain't for the weak. Texas said Boise State. So, Sawyer, did Buddy and Draymond Buck in Boise State?
No, there was no bucking. Draymond is very much. He's still a loud mouth. He's still getting technical fouls, still getting thrown out the game, but he's not punching his
teammates anymore. Don't watch nothing.
Don't punch Buddy now.
Draymond is a Bahamian.
Buddy them grow up in 8 Mile Rock.
Yeah.
Buddy will give him a knuckle sandwich out of this world.
Don't worry, Draymond is a Bahamian at heart. He know not to mess with a Bahamian.
Yeah, don't do that.
Mr. Sawyer, thank you very, very much. You have a wonderful weekend, and thank you for letting us pull you away from your main job, which is loving up your family, and then job number 2. Anyway, have a great weekend, eh?
You too.
And you guys, stay tuned to Guardian Radio 96.9 FM, because Guardian Radio AM with C.A. Nuri is up next.
Just sign in and have a seat, please. They'll call you in for your x-ray shortly.
That's why they call it a waiting room. You won't have that problem at Fourth Terrace Diagnostic Center or Imaging at Grosvenor. We never schedule multiple appointments, so you'll be in and out in no time. And if your initial screening reveals a concern, our radiologist can conduct an alternative screening right then and there. Call 328-8157 to schedule an appointment at Fourth Terrace Diagnostic Center or Imaging at Grosvenor today.
Love the show? Want to give your support? Become a sponsor today. Call 302-2300 for our rates and packages. That's 302-2300. Become a sponsor on Guardian Radio 96.9 FM. Fresh news, smart talk, all day.
You try to rest, roll with the best. For all your printing needs, there ain't no one better, no. For posters and banners, magazines and flyers, for window decals, greeting cards and newsletters. No job too big and there's no job too small. To name it, we can print it. Just give us a call. Let Print Masters bring your masterpiece to life.
Located in the Nassau Guardian Building, telephone 302-2361.
This is Guardian Radio 96.9 FM, streaming on GuardianTalkRadio.com and the Guardian Radio app, Nassau, Bahamas.